Hello everyone, and so we're just kind of doing a thoughts on video because the season premiere happened.
Season 5, Episode 1 and 2, Cutie Markless.
Exactly. And
So,
right off the bat, I have to say, Pinkie Pie was really good in both episodes.
I like Pinkie Pie, yes, she was fun.
Yeah. It was fun as over the top as she needed to be, and
Sadly, Spike was once more thrown aside.
yeah, what I liked about this one, though I normally don't like this stereotype, it was funny, so I excused it. But more so, I liked that they at least gave Spike a reason to bail
Not
out
to
of the
be there. Wasn't
episode.
just
Yeah,
like, well, I could take a nap.
yeah. I know Spike is like a co-chair in the Friendship Council, but who gives a shit about that guy?
Yeah, shouldn't he be like part of this group? Like, can he just
Yeah,
not go? Isn't that kind of cheating?
that is kind of
Also, and
cheating, but
honestly, now that okay, I wanted us to start with like our overall thoughts, but I want to mention this quickly before I forget. The only reason Spike isn't there is because that would have broken the core storyline.
You know, it's funny. That's literally what I was going to say. Which is another reason why I excused it, because I know why he didn't go, and that's because it doesn't make any freaking sense. Dragons can't lose their cutie marks, because they don't have one.
But I must like more like what is they gonna do with him? We can always send a letter to Celestia.
Yeah, exactly. Can always send a letter
That would
to
have made this
Celeste.
really
Yeah.
entertaining story.
It would
But
have made.
like Twilight
Yeah.
is like, I got a dragon, bitch.
It would have made the story really a lot shorter and a lot more about Spike being a badass rather than Fluttershy doing a thing.
That would be like the final episode of My Little Pony. Spike being a badass.
Well, we've already had a couple of episodes like that. I mean, he did save the Crystal Empire, so
He got like 5 seconds for that.
yeah, I know. Well, wait,
Anyway,
yeah.
do you want to like go and one? Okay. What I was thinking is that we start off by our general thoughts on the episode and trying to put it in a place compared to the other season openers.
All right. Compared to the other season openers, that's hard, especially with bias, because like I love it's the first episode I saw, so I love the first two episodes, even though it's not really the best season opener.
Uh,
Um,
but I mean, in all honesty, in fairness, I still rate this season one opener pretty high. Because yes, I mean, to part it is because it's the first episode you saw, but I mean, the reason you like it is because there's a lot of new things.
right,
So
that
I think
is
every season
true.
opener should try to achieve that.
Yeah, and it does achieve that fantastically. I mean, if the season one opener wasn't so good, we wouldn't have such a wonderful world. So, it did do a great job of world building, which is all it really had to do.
Yeah, but so do you want to make a list or do you want me to start by making my list of compared to the other
Um,
ones?
I'll let you make your list.
Because I already sorted out this list. So my current ratings of season openers goes like this. Season 2 opener is first place. Season 1 opener is second place. Uh, this one is third place. Crystal Empire is last place. I don't know what the other one was called, but that's second last place.
Um, I think we've only had the four. I want to say there was one season that didn't have a two-parter season opener.
No, I didn't have season 2 part of season final.
Oh, okay.
The other one was the one with the vines. It's season 4. The
Oh,
season 4
right,
opener, but I don't
right.
even know what it was called.
Twilight Kingdom.
Was it that? No, I just thought that was the final.
Oh,
You
Princess
know the one
Twilight
with the plants.
Sparkle. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's just called Princess Twilight Sparkle. I knew it was something to that effect.
Which you can make it listen and I can go into my rant.
Okay, let's see. So, first is a, hard one, but I think I'm going to have to agree with you. The season 2, opener was really good. There's a lot of things I liked about that.
Yes, bro.
Then probably the season 1 opener. Yeah, I actually liked the Crystal Empire, though I think I'd put this one above the Crystal Empire, then the Crystal Empire, then Princess Twilight Sparkle.
So we have a pretty close list. I don't
Yeah.
even know, like maybe I am unfair to what this Coast Empire. I know this is not really about season five opener anymore, but it's general openness compared to each other. But the Coast Empire one just it fell flat for me because it had so many songs and yet none of the songs stuck for me.
Yeah,
And that
that makes
really was a
sense.
problem where it's like now I just feel like you're wasting my time because I don't like your songs.
Yeah. That's completely understandable. I mean, I liked the Crystal Empire, but I definitely see where you're coming from, and I
In
did
general, I
feel
thought the
like it.
Coast Empire
Hmm.
was just it had nothing. Even though it had a new place, the place felt too much like Canterlot, so really it felt like nothing ever happened in the whole episode.
Yeah. Well, I think that is the issue: is that the Crystal Empire is understated and underutilized. There's no reason to care about it.
It has no identity, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the few
Which
places in the world that you look at and it's like, yeah, it's a toy sale, I guess, whatever.
it's literally just like literally that's what happened when you visit the Crystal Empire. They just say toys. That's all they do. But yeah, that was what I
Oh.
was gonna bring up. That is why I actually like this one quite a bit. I like
Yeah.
about this one that it introduced new things, which is what
Yeah.
I saw at season four opener. Even though people liked the season four opener a lot when it came out, I remember people liking it at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but that's why I can't even remember its name or barely remember anything that was in it because it introduced nothing new and nothing that really new happened.
Right, right,
It just kept the
exactly.
status quo. Oh, the princesses are in trouble. Save them. Okay, I save them. But like nothing was introduced, and the only thing that was introduced was the Tree of Harmony thing, which I'm like,
Yeah.
really, all you did
I
was
mean,
rewrite the first episode. Like you rewrote the origin story of the
yeah.
elements of harmony.
Pretty much. I mean, honestly, the only thing I can state that was like my favorite about that episode was it was the most irrelevant part of the episode, and that was when Princess Twilight saw the other two princesses fighting back in
Yeah, yeah, even
time.
that one. I mean, people like that. I was kind of. I come from a weird spot because I always believe that fandom and canon both are very relevant, so I don't like it when you write something in stone that didn't need to be written in stone.
Yeah.
So even though a flashback might be interesting for people, my problem with it always was that because of that being one of the most important parts of like whole My Little Pony universe, you have now written in stone how it happened, and now there's no imagination to it anymore. Because you wrote it in stone, but you wrote it in stone in such a throwaway fashion that really it was never as great as you could have imagined it to be.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's fair. It's really the kind of thing that I would have assumed. I don't know why it was a throwaway thing. You'd think they'd actually want an episode about that eventually, because that would have been neat. But whatever.
So yeah, I don't know. I just that's why I like this one because it introduced a lot of new things without overwriting anything that was known before. Like that, it's funny because normally in everything else, I'm always very determined that you explain things. But in My Little Pony, I think the best way to go is creating more questions and answering the least amount of questions possible. Because you don't want things written. You kind of want you want everything
Yeah.
be
Well.
you just want to introduce interesting concepts, but you don't want to really make the wood very defined.
Yeah.
That's
I.
why I don't care about the fact that we now have a map of Equestria, because when we didn't have a map of Equestria, it was more interesting to me.
Yeah. Well. Though I think we always technically had a map of Equestria. It was just one we never really saw on screen.
Right, no, that's what I meant, but not
Oh,
the map.
okay.
Like this
Yeah.
map, we didn't even see anything. I don't mind them having a map, but I don't follow the map's
Right.
geographical reasonings because the map doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it
Ponyville is
doesn't.
like 2 meters away from Canterlot, even though it's supposed to be this new town
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like
that
a
is also
train.
really old town.
Right, exactly. And it's supposed to be train right away instead of just like being able to walk over and be like, "Hi, Princess Celestia."
But yeah, so that's where I was. That's just where I'm coming from when I'm saying that I appreciate a lot of this episode because of the fact that it
Yeah.
did something new.
Yeah. I I always don't mind too much either way, but I do agree on the new thing. I especially like it because of the way that it's new. It reminds me of actually when I heard of the way the map thing worked, it kind of made me think of a video game.
Which I
Something
was
like
gonna,
hmm, sorry.
I was gonna go there. That I do have my critiques with the episode, and the map thing is one of my major critiques.
Oh, that's interesting. I actually liked it because I mean, it might seem really basic, but I was like, hey, that kind of makes me think of, Oblivion or whatever. It really opens them up to exploring the land, which is cool.
Right. I like the idea that it opens up them to exploring the land. I do agree with that. I just don't think the map was the right way to handle it. Because
Mm,
it does remind me of a video game. But it reminds me of the quest markers in Oblivion, which, yes, they were relevant, but I mean, like, as a story element, the quest markers were not what was making this game interesting.
right, that's fair.
And I just think that the problem with the map is, like, even in Oblivion, you normally have a quest giver, or like in any RPG,
Right,
if people don't know what Oblivion is. You have someone who gives you a quest, and that already adds a layer of personality or a layer of why you're doing this.
right,
But the
right.
map doesn't give you any reason why you're doing it. The map is just like, oh, I'm pinging over here, walk over here. Which is why I actually don't like a lot of the. It's kind of going on around, but that's what I don't like about a lot of the more like modern open world games, where they're just like, oh, we have so many collectibles and so many things you can do, but most of them have no context. They just you just go
Yeah,
over there because there's a pinger there.
yeah.
And I
I
feel
mean,
that this might happen here,
yeah.
where like there's no reason for them to go there other than because the map told them.
Yeah, well, that's fair, and I guess that's kind of the. I see your point. I'm just hoping it's done well. Like in this episode, it's something that I didn't really have an issue with because them coming into a new environment with minimal knowledge
But yeah,
was pretty interesting.
here it worked, but it worked because it was the first time they did it. But if this is gonna
Yeah.
be if the map is a new Celestia, then I'm sorry, but the map does not have the personality Celestia has.
Yeah, I see your point. We'll have to see where it goes, but I can agree. Like, if every episode just turns into go here, turn right at 200 paces and get to the Griffin Empire,
You think the
woo.
map has a GPS?
Yeah, it's basically GPS for
Even though
friendship
it never
lessons.
explained exactly how they got there.
Yeah.
Again, I don't mind, but they're like, hey, it's over here, and then it's just like, okay, we're just gonna go along this road.
Yeah. It really didn't. They just kind of went there, but oh well.
But yeah, I do agree overall. I'm very glad. I'm hopeful for this season, actually. I have no spoilers at all. Like, I've literally read nothing on any of the episode synopsises or
Yeah.
anything. So I don't even know where this is gonna go. But what I said at the end of season 3 is that I really hope that they do something new
Mhm.
because of the fact that I still hold to the belief that when Twilight got a ring, that was kind of the ending point of the whole storyline. Like, the story is Twilight learns about magic of friendship and becomes a better student. It's like the student of Celestia. And the ending point of that storyline is that she becomes a princess. Like, that's like
Yeah.
a final evolvement. Like Twilight, Celestia can no longer teach her. Well, like, she can kind of teach her, but she can't really teach her new things anymore.
Yeah.
Like, after Luke Skywalker becomes a Jedi Knight, he doesn't just keep on learning about like the Force and becoming a Jedi Knight. Like, he starts teaching other people to be a Jedi Knight.
Right, right.
And that's what I felt they kind of did. That's why I didn't. That's why I don't remember a lot about season 4, and I thought it kind of fell flat because in season 4 it was like, yeah, the story doesn't really change, even though they should have by this point.
Yeah. I enjoyed season 4, lots of good episodes but yeah, there was the big elephant in the room that for whatever reason in season 4 they didn't really feel the need to address Twilight Sparkle as a princess. She was just still Twilight Sparkle.
Yeah, and it
Um,
just nothing changed, even
yeah.
though it should now be the new era, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping they do something here more where they go
Right.
more traveling or go more adventure stuff.
Yeah.
And you could be like, well, it's My Little Pony, you can't do that. But honestly, I mean, maybe I am wrong, but even if you just ignore the whole brony fact of it, the people who were watching my season 1 My Little Pony, like the girls, are now 5 years older than when the show started.
Right,
Can you not
exactly.
go more adventure route? I mean, your target audience should now have gotten older. Like your target audience shouldn't go
Yeah.
back to point A every single year because then you have new people every time. Like they don't even know what ponies are.
Yeah. Well, that's true. And I mean, the show's already always had adventure episodes, so I'm hoping that they, I like slice of life episodes, but I'm hoping they go more adventure episodes.
Yeah, because then it would feel like there's a
Um,
progression to the overall void.
yeah, I agree. In fact, I don't know if it was planned or not, but that is something that I applauded Twilight Kingdom for the last season, closer. Just because they kind of gave Twilight feeling that not changing after becoming a princess, which is rather interesting. Even though I don't know that was ever the intention in the first place, they did address it.
Yeah. I mean, that's just I didn't hate season 4, but I thought that made season 4 just it was more of the same, and I don't think that's what the show needed at that time.
Yeah,
So hopefully now we have more interesting, like we have more adventures.
yeah,
Even if I'm not entirely convinced that the map should be the quest giver, so to speak.
yeah. Well, we'll see how they go about it, but
So that's really everything that is not related to the episode itself, but everything about the episode.
yeah, we kind of did discuss a lot of that. Okay, so well, like most of like you said, like a lot of the season openers, it really added more to the universe. So there's a lot of that to think about. But
I like that. I like the idea of the that like that's what I mean. There's just like now the world has more new interesting stuff. We
right,
now that there's such thing as like magical artifacts because they have
yeah.
hinted at the fact that there are like 7 from this dude who I don't know
Yeah,
what his name
exactly.
was.
I want to say it was actually 8, but I could be wrong.
Okay, yeah, it's 8 because she said that there were 9. Also spoilers, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that in a bit. Okay, so going a bit more in order, they follow this map and they get to this kingdom, and Pinkie Pie's all suspicious because everyone has these huge, creepy smiles.
Which were
Um,
actually kind of creepy.
they were. I was surprised. It's funny, and the
I was
little
watching the
things.
episode at work, and the whole time I was like, the animation of this show is amazing, but if anyone like somehow saw the screen, I couldn't even explain this to them. Like, what are you watching? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm watching the creepy rape show with ponies. What are you
Which
watching?
also,
Mm-hmm.
to only make, okay, maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
did you get at all the story of the blank swipe watching this? Because the whole time I was like, the first half of the episode, really, I was like, story of the blanks, story of the
Yeah.
blanks. It's totally story of the blanks, the whole story.
Yeah, well, I was definitely thinking along that line, or more of a. I guess actually I was supposing not think of that, but I was definitely thinking of like cults and stuff, and
Right, but
I
I mean,
was. Mm-hmm.
because the of Blanks also kind of has the idea of it. Like, it's more the equality, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same idea, but like the equality by not having cutie marks. And
Right.
they are all like really happy, but they are like over jealously happy, and you just know that it's a little bit strange.
Yeah. In fact, that's one of the things I had mixed feelings on. But I thought about it and I decided it was okay because I kind of already did the uncertainty for the season 2 episode 1. But I was kind of surprised that they were so on the nose about it. There was no even trying to hide that this town was suspicious and evil. Like these
Yeah,
ponies were as
I
creepy
didn't
as
mind that.
possible.
I didn't mind that, but I think they could have kept out. Like, they should have made the main villain less main villain before she became a villain, so to speak. Like they
Yeah.
could have spared themselves the evil grin kind of scene that they had like at that one point where she
Right.
just like walks through the camera and it's like ha, she's like
Y-
grinning evilly kind of. Like
Yeah.
you didn't need that. Obviously she was evil, but you don't have to rub it in my face. It's what I also hated with Kate Princess Malak, if don't know her name, Chrysalis.
Yeah.
Like I hated it when they did that with Chrysalis too, because I don't know why they feel the need to do that.
I don't know either. In fact,
Again, if
that's
you're like target audience, I'm pretty sure even the like little girl is not stupid. And even then, it was she's dumb enough that she does understand this is a villain. It's like, oh my god, it's a villain. But
exactly. It's
really,
a huge plot
even a little
twist if
girl
you don't
wouldn't
get
be
it.
that dumb.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and in fact, that's something I wanted to say about this one is that's something I guess that's kind of why I hoped they had kept up the charade at least in the way of her not stating that she's a villain, because she is the most understated villain in a good way in her true form, not counting like changelings changing forms, but she's just off pure look, she doesn't straight up look like a villain. If she wasn't totally obviously the villain of the episode, you wouldn't see her and be like, "Oh yeah, she's totally evil," you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought, like, if they had taken away the like obvious villain smile kind of idea, then
Right.
you could even have made her a little bit more middle groundish. Like, obviously, she was
Right.
gonna be the villain, she was gonna be the bad guy, but you could have at least made her believe that she was doing the right thing,
Right,
which at times
exactly.
it seemed like it. But it's a little bit hard to have that come over when at the same time she's looking at the camera laughing like a main.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, it's one of those things where you see it and it's like pretty obvious she doesn't believe that what she's spouting if she's acting like that.
Like even the fact that she kept the cutie mark again, major spoilers, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even that you can excuse if she like truly believes she needed to keep the cutie mark to have everyone else be happy, kind of idea, like
Right.
self-sacrifice. I just thought
Exactly.
that would have been an interesting angle for it to take because it almost felt like two parts that is what they were trying to go with.
Yeah. It did cuz like once again spoilers, it's really hard to avoid whatever. This thing is containing major spoilers you guys didn't guess. So at the end of the episode, yeah, they kind of hinted that with how Twilight reacted to her, but it didn't really feel like she learned her lesson. It didn't feel like she was just trying to,
Yeah, I mean, I don't even like she
create
doesn't need to have learned
friends.
her lesson, but
Right.
it just needs to be that she at least believes herself to be correct,
Right.
which she does. But then it's a little bit different when again she's marking for the camera.
Right. Well, I guess that's just what I'm saying though, is that implies that she truly believed what she was saying, which yeah, it almost seemed a lot of the times, like you said, with her smirking at the camera and whatever, it seemed like she was just after power, the standard
And even then,
villain thing.
her villain plan for like I guess that's the thing. She didn't really have a villain plan. I
Yeah.
mean, like her villain plan was okay. Everyone will be equal, and I will be the only one with magic kind of idea. But she wasn't exactly good. Like it's not like she like lured Twilight here or anything. So
Right.
she wasn't really going out of her way to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more that she just kind of rolled with whatever was happening, which was that Twilight just kicks in her door and is like, "Hey
Yeah.
guys,
Sup, I heard you need a friendship lesson.
okay, now that we have completely jumped ahead in time, we can go
Okay.
back in time."
Right,
I
right.
liked. Okay, so they arrive. Everyone's really
Mm-hmm.
happy and kind of creepy. They have a
Uh,
song. I don't remember the song. It was
uh,
okay.
yeah, the song was okay. I liked once
It had none of the
again.
main stakes, which kind of makes it almost impossible for it to be good.
Yeah, I see your point. It's hard for it to be great and really memorable without the memorable characters. But
But also
I.
because
Mm-hmm.
I mean like those are like the really good. Like I don't really want to insert the voice actor or singer for that song, but like those are like the really probably the best singers. And they kind of is like the Discord song in that other that season.
Yeah,
Like he did a good job, but it's never gonna be smile, smile, smile.
yeah. Actually, I that is fair. In fact, that reminds me. It's surprising that Rainbow Dash hasn't sung more, because aside from being an actress, apparently her voice actress is a singer. So I know
Yeah,
it
she also
songs.
does Applejack,
Yeah, and Applejack.
but
Applejack
Applejack
has
had the
sung. Yeah,
bad song. It's just that Rainbow Dash has, I guess, a character who wouldn't sing much, so I understand that.
yeah. I kind of get that, but anyways, so What I did like about the song, though, and kind of the episode had an interesting thing where Fluttershy was actually into it.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it worked in the episode's flavor. Yes, it works in the episode's favor. I didn't
Yeah,
feel like it was exactly out of character for her, so it worked.
yeah,
I
I,
thought the whole lying thing would have been way more fascinating if it had to be Applejack, but I guess it wouldn't really have worked as well or as easily.
yeah. Well, exactly. That's why I was fine with it. I see your point, because lying isn't exactly against her element, but she was the most believable one. I don't really see why they would have believed Applejack, because, well, that's kind of part of her special talent, which she isn't supposed to have in the town. So it would be weird to state, like, hey, it's my special talent to not lie, so can you let me not
But
have a
that's the
special
thing, though.
talent?
I thought that Aina used that a little bit. I was a little bit disappointed. Yes, they got rid of the cutie marks, but they shouldn't have been. She didn't get rid of the elements,
Right.
but the show never really addresses that because yes, Applejack no longer has the element of apples or like the cutie mark of apples or whatever, but she
Yeah.
should still be the element of honesty.
Hmm.
Which like they never
But
addressed if that is the fact or not. Like are the cutie marks bound to the elements?
yeah, it's. I want to say it implied that it was, but it never really took the time to imply it fully
Because
either
only
way.
Twilight's like yes, Twilights, but that's because they are literally the same thing in her case.
Yeah, friendship and magic. So I guess under Twilight's is the one you can assume the most is that they are linked to the cutie marks. But I still see your case where you could just argue that, well, it's her magical ability is her special talent, so it doesn't
Well,
really
because
matter
her
element
element is
wise.
magic and her ability is magic.
Yeah.
Like, mainly, I guess that's a promise of fact that they have never exactly stated what the cutie black marks. Like, they know what they're good at, but it doesn't really exactly. I don't know, it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
It's a confusing topic. Anyway,
Oh.
random stallion dude who, like, joins their side and then he joins the enemy side again and then he
Yeah.
just is very confused.
That he was a bro.
He was a bro till he was no longer a bro and then he was a bro again.
Well, yeah.
I saw, in all fairness, if
But
I'm allowed to say this on
mhm.
this recording, he gets locked in a room with like five board mares and he gets sad. What kind of dude is this?
uh, I don't know. Apparently equality means you really don't want to have sex.
But they had kids in that town.
Yeah.
Which
That's
were in there for like 2 frames.
yeah. I actually forgot about that cuz as
I
you
think they only show up
mentioned.
in the song for like 2 frames.
Yeah,
And I see that they are in the background sometimes.
yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say, I remember they're in the background at one point where the main six is having a little fight, and some of the parents, like, do their creepy smile thing and cover their kids' ears.
yes.
Because
Let's see.
communism. Except not really, but, you know.
Communism, right, that's what I was thinking. The whole time I was thinking stars of blanks mixed with a little bit of communism.
Yeah, pretty
But I don't
much.
think that was the intention, honestly. It never felt like it was the intention. Like, I don't think I was trying to do any kind of commentary on communism or anything.
Yeah, I don't know
For
about.
people go crazy with that.
Yeah, I don't think it was communism necessarily, but there's actually something about some of the aspects of it that felt, which I guess is another thing that made me feel like she wasn't very honest with her intentions, the villain, because there's something about it that felt kind of militaristic at times, like the way they brainwash people.
Uh, yeah. I could make some anti-communism remark, but again,
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, it felt a little bit communism. Like, they felt communism in the sense that, like, oh, they have all the same greetings, and they all have the
yeah,
same cloaks, and all have the
right.
same this, and they have all the same that. But
Yeah,
I mean, like at the same time, that's not exactly communism either. It's not like in communism, everyone has the same job,
yeah,
or everyone sucks at their job in communism. So I don't think it was like a
exactly.
communism thing.
Yeah. Well, I can agree with that. Like I said, it just felt
So I
militaristic
saw
in a
it.
way, but I don't exactly mean that in communism. It just generally felt like that identity draining idea of, every soldier is just a
It was
soldier.
very, yeah, I guess it's what you call I'm probably gonna totally kill the pronunciation. It's probably called something slightly different, but it's like naturalism.
Yeah, that might be it. I think so.
But it's like it's really strong idea and like the whole idea of like a fatherland or a motherland or like unity, if you like strengthen unity to the extent where the single does not exist.
Right.
And I mean that's not the same as communism. Communism is just equality between all.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Though either way, I don't think they quite encompass this to this degree. In fact, the only thing I found weird about it, and the reason why I don't know that she was necessarily trying to be evil, was because, as you said, everyone sucks at their job, and we find that very early on that having an equal mark means you are efficiently shit at everything. You cannot
It
bake.
it's a little bit weird. I thought that one was a little bit. I mean, it's because they're trying to they pushing the story, but I thought unless you're like outright going with the idea that they just suck because they don't have magic, I thought it wouldn't make much sense because the way it implied is that all she ever does with her life is bake goods, right? Or like
Right.
it was a little bit confused because I wasn't sure how this system works. Do they all keep switching jobs every week? Because that's what makes sense that everyone sucks because everyone does every job every week.
Hmm.
But it's not like this, they ever imply that. They're just like, oh, I keep baking really terrible cupcakes for no reason. Even though I've been doing
Yeah.
this for like 25 years.
They don't do a great job of explaining that, but it seems that cutie marks do indeed include some kind of magic in them that actually makes ponies good at things. But
Like, I understood for it that like they couldn't fly well. Like, that
yeah,
part made sense for me, but I thought basic ability to do anything would you would still have that.
yeah,
Like, you would still have your basic skills.
yeah, exactly. Honestly, and once again, I know it's furthering the plot, but I feel like I would have preferred it if they were just like really okay, bland muffins. Because I think the thing with them being terrible is, as I said, it implies that they're shit at everything automatically, which means that wouldn't they automatically be unhappy? I mean, I know they're just as shit as everyone else, but I'd be pretty unhappy if I was an amazing baker and all of
Also,
a
how
sudden
do
I
they
made,
survive?
yeah, if they had like the worst cupcakes in the world and can't do clothing and probably can't build very well.
Yeah, but I guess so. I'm gonna make my headcanon with it that
Hmm.
the reason they suck at everything is because they just to keep equality, they keep switching jobs so that no one becomes
Yeah.
proficient at a job. And it
I
doesn't
think that
explain
makes
why they
sense.
suck at it, but at
Hmm.
least that would. I mean, it explains why they suck at it. It doesn't explain why they're okay with it, but if everyone keeps switching jobs, they never become good at one. So
Yeah,
they would be mediocre at all of them, I guess.
exactly. I'm okay with that.
Um, secret meeting. One
Yeah.
Earth, only one unicorn at one. It's
I've
like they're
all.
trying to like push
Mhm.
equality while also bashing equality at the same time.
Yeah. So that scene, for one, I I found it interesting how they actually had the Pinkie Pie had the strongest stomach, so she had to eat all
Which
of
I
the
just
muffins.
like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess because they were gonna make the whole, oh, we ran out of muffins, we have to go down there now. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I'm like, I feel like you're just kind of being a douche.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like, could you
mean,
just have all eaten the muffins, and then she could have been like, oh, Pinky, you ate all our muffins.
yeah. You think so, but like, I figured they at least could have each eaten one muffin, and then Pinky could have eaten the extra muffins that she ordered, and that would have been fair. But, yeah, I don't know why they pushed all of the muffins on Pinkie Pie. That was a little mean. But aside from that, it was, still a pretty amusing scene. And also, Pinkie Pie got very temporarily fat.
Which I guess that's how maybe. I don't know. She said a cutie mark. I wonder what would happen if she didn't have a cutie mark. Does she stay fat? Is that part of her magic powers?
I assume so. I assume that all of that sugar she eats just vanishes into energy all the time. But
Um,
Yeah, either
Yeah,
way, so that scene was actually pretty interesting and gave us some story, and I've seen porn of it. So huzzah for that.
I did not to mention that in this video. Now this
Um,
video is mature.
I don't know why not. It's just,
Oh yeah, jumping ahead again.
mm-hmm.
But those ponies make me totally think of Dusk Dawn.
That's,
Although OC, like I guess you can't call them OCs now, but they are OCs. Like all these
yeah.
ponies, they make me think of Dusk Dawn a lot. More than why that blue
uh,
Pegasus dude. He's totally the
yeah.
main character from Dusk Dawn. Only that he can be understandable.
Yeah, you can actually understand them. Though he did still talk in a funny manner, I'll give you that.
I mean, I
Freaking.
like Dusk Dawn. I'm like the only person who did, but that's
Yeah.
just what I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think I thought that, but I'm trying to remember what I was thinking. Um, but yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, I guess I had a similar idea where, and I found it interesting. I was like, oh, it's background ponies, OCs saving the day.
I thought it was a nice change of pace from the
Yeah,
normal main six saving the day thing without it being like the main six was still the main center of that episode and Sick kind of saved the day.
right.
So I thought it worked well. I thought it was an interesting change of pace.
Yeah,
I thought one,
it
which
was
is
a neat
exactly
change
what
of
My Little
pace.
Pony just needs. It needs some change of pace, and in like a lot of ways, I guess. And
Yeah,
I thought this episode did a lot to do that.
yeah. The episode definitely did plenty for a change of pace. Alright, so yeah, secret meeting happens. Everyone in the secret meeting reveals that, oh no, they're not actually particularly happy. They're
They're only okay happy.
yeah, exactly. They're just faking being happy, but they really want their special talents back, except, they're really paranoid about it. So, they're kind of weird on the fence about it. But anyways, I found that segment interesting.
After that, we have the trap scene.
Yeah.
There's a totally. I knew it was coming a mile away.
Yeah, I knew it
But
was coming
not
a
the
mile away.
trap, but the fact that she says it's a trap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Admiral Akbar Twilight.
Yeah, like that. I knew that was gonna happen, and it did.
Yeah. I don't know. I was disappointed that the trap wasn't better. It's one of those things that it's always a small pet peeve, and it was the only thing I didn't really like in an otherwise great episode. But, yeah, I don't know. I felt like it wasn't explained well enough why the main six lose. And it's not the first time we had that. We had that with the, changelings as well.
There
Or
was a
the,
changing. It's more like there's a lot of them, and then
well,
maybe they were just tired. They ran out of
yeah.
MPP.
I guess you could state that, but it's kind of weird how like they beat up like hundreds of guards. All of a sudden, like I don't know, 8 changelings show up. And they're like, I'm tired. Fuck it.
Right, yeah, it was how it went. They were tired. They ran out of like mana points and all that.
Yeah. Okay, but this one, I don't know. Like I
But I
said,
thought
it's
like it
just
was okay, and like this is actually one of the major missteps in this episode. I felt like was the fact that why it was the staff not magical. Like I
I'm
thought that was like a huge mistake. Like I was like, you did not need to change that. She could still have a magical staff. In fact, that would make a lot more sense than just her be because okay, I can understand her catching Twilight off guard with a magical artifact from like a super wizard dude, which
right.
like takes away Twilight's ability to do magic, and then like I can see her maybe like win if she like surprises Twilight like that. But I
Yeah.
cannot see her win like that if she is doing it herself, unless
Yeah.
she's really OP.
Well, I
And what exactly
guess
is her
yeah.
ability? Why would any pony ever be born with a cutie mark to be able to drain other ponies' abilities?
I don't know. Yeah, I see your point there, and in fact, I guess that adds more to the reason why I have an issue. Well, not exactly just that. More of the reason that also Twilight just, you know, block spoilers again. She blocks this exact what I'm assuming is the exact same spell later on in the episode.
But she was prepared.
Well,
Like
yeah,
that's
she was
why
prepared.
that's why I'm okay with it. But again, you could have solved that by just being, oh, if the staff has magic, she didn't have the staff. So that's why
Yeah,
Twilight can block the spell later easily because now it's like a fair fight.
right, exactly. Well, a fair fight in quotation marks, because the Princess of Magic, I don't
Right,
think
a
you're gonna
fair
win a
fight in the
magic
sense that
duel.
it's a
Yeah, it's magic versus magic, pure and
rather
simple.
than magical scepter. Yeah,
Artifacts,
like I
yeah.
don't know why they did that. Like there was
I,
no reason for them not to have the
yeah.
magical scepter thing. Because you could actually have the scepter come back. Like Twilight would never use it, but she could like you could have it just in the background in the castle or something.
Right, exactly. Or, yeah. Or it could have given some closure to the episode in the way of her, like, the villain's. Spoilers. The villain gets away, but, she breaks the staff. Something like that. I don't.
In fact, no, and then the scepter thing, it would have totally referenced
Mm-hmm.
uh what was it would have totally referenced Jedi Knight 3, and Jedi Knight 3 was such a great storyline, remember?
Oh, yeah, I sure do remember Jedi Knight 3. Speaking of OCs.
Yeah,
uh,
edited both OCs.
yeah. So,
But yeah, so that I mean, I don't hate this episode just because of that, but I thought the scepter thing
yeah.
it was one of those like it was an addition that really wasn't needed. The fact
Yeah.
that because you could be like, oh, Twilight figured it out because she says there are nine bad effects, but in reality there's only eight. I'm like, that was so irrelevant to the whole storyline because
That
just a
really
second later she gets
was.
screwed.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't really matter. So, I agree. I don't know why they decided to make it totally irrelevant. Because as much as I did find the scene funny, but thinking about it now, it's still yeah. The fact that she found the scepter in basically a Cracker Jack box really just is stupid. Found the
And
stick
the
in the
question
middle.
again, I can't get over the fact what is her special ability? Because Twilight can do multiple parts of magic because she's element of magic and all that. She has
Right.
like a lot of magic abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But what is I don't like maybe I just didn't figure out what the cutie mark is supposed to be. But what is a special ability of a villain? Because if it is the ability to steal other people's powers and put them in like stones, then I'm like I feel bad for this one. Why would she became a villain? Like what other abilities would she have?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
she could maybe be like a prison guard or something.
Uh, I I don't know, cause the thing is, I almost want to imply that she was. It was implied that she had a similar special ability to Twilight, but I'm not sure,
Yeah, but
cause
that
she.
doesn't count. That's hexing. You can't have magic cannot be your There's only one magic.
Well,
Out of-
yeah, I know. That's why I'm not sure how to state it, but I mean the end of the episode says that it's not like she could do it forever. If assuming that the end of the episode spell was the exact same spell she used at the beginning because she was like, I practiced that spell forever, since I was a filly. How did you best it? And Twilight's like, well, I've been spelling magic longer, and I have friends, so
So
fuck
that line
you.
made no sense to me, honestly.
What?
Because she's like, I've been practicing that spell forever. It's like, yeah, and I put up with shit. It's a completely different thing.
Yeah, that's
That didn't really, like the complaint kind of makes sentences like, oh, but I don't know. That complaint just didn't make much sense to me because she knows
that's
that Twilight is an alicorn, and she knows
yeah.
that her spell wouldn't work against an alicorn just face first.
Yeah.
If Twilight had used her own spell against her, then that would have made sense. But she did. She just put up with shit.
That is fair cuz I mean, yeah, with any alicorn, especially Twilight, you would assume that yeah, she obviously can block just about anything magical if she's ready for it.
Because even like Shining Armor could have blocked it, but that doesn't mean
Right.
Shining Armor would be more powerful than
Right.
like whatever her name is. I don't even know what her name is. Does she have a name?
I want to say it's a Starlight Shimmer. I don't know if that's right.
Yes, she does have a name. And that really does sound like an OC name. Are you sure they didn't just like take OC characters for this episode?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, honestly, as much fun as it is to call them OCs, I never really found the designs, you know. Well, then again, that would be an insult to OCs. I'm not saying OCs are
I mean,
designed
people always
bad,
say
but
OCs look terrible, but honestly, the majority of OCs I've seen look fine. And
yeah,
these looked like OCs, in all honesty.
yeah,
Because they
exactly.
looked out of place to the show. Like if you had seen them in
Hmm.
Ponyville, they would have probably looked kind of out of place.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
why,
fair.
but it just seemed a little bit that way.
Hmm. I don't know. Maybe because they have personalities that we haven't really seen around Ponyville, like the weird surfer dude personality.
Which, oh yeah, we are now, I guess, completely giving up on explaining, just sticking to the story. But what the hell was a snowboarding guy? Like, okay, the skiing guy, what the fuck was he doing there? Because it's like, oh, these are my old skis. I'm like, you are like a million years away from any kind of civilization, aren't you? Why are you skiing in like some mountains in nowhere?
You know, that's a good question.
That it
I
was
don't
actually
know.
never explained, but
Um,
this town, I assume it didn't exist before the whole equality thing happened.
yeah,
So
I
that's
don't
what I
know.
mean. Where like if this town didn't
Um,
exist and there doesn't seem to be anything else around, why was he here?
well, going back to my assumption, maybe it would fit under the assumption of why anyone joined in the first place. Maybe he didn't have anybody to ski with. Maybe everybody hates him.
But yeah, but I understand. Like I even understand the idea of people having gone. Like people have heard about this town and then they travel to the town because they hear how like happy everyone is.
Right.
I get that part, but you can't tell me he was traveling to the town with his skis. So like he was just skiing for the lawyers, but he was doing it
Yeah.
like outside the boundaries of Equestria itself or whatever. Because I don't know how far away this is supposed to be, but it
Yeah.
gotta be pretty decently far away.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I see your point.
It's really nitpicky and
But
whatever.
yeah, it is. It is.
It's
It's one
just
of those things that.
what's he doing is a question of the day.
Yeah, that is a good question, but the only answer is the one I have, and I know it's not great, but I mean we've experienced that before. Phillies seem and whatever seem people to travel all over Question. No one gives a shit, so I guess adults can too. Like Cheese Sandwich freaking ran away from Philadelphia or whatever all the way to Ponyville.
Yeah, I guess in Equestria, just traveling around is really easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no police. It does like the police won't stop you and like send you back home.
Yeah, and
People think,
nobody watches the trains, so.
yeah, anyone can get on the train. Oh yeah, I love that train moment where the train just like it arrives and it just goes back home.
Yeah, it's like we're here, time to fuck off.
I just imagine a trial Octave. It's like, guys, I need you to drive over there. It's like, there's nothing there. I don't care. I'm not paying you. I'm the princess. You take us over there right now. They're like,
uh,
God damn these princesses. Okay.
yeah.
Because
I
that
can
train ride must
understand.
not have made a lot of money.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Even assuming they actually did pay him, that's six customers to go completely out of his way in a way that he could make no more stops in that direction.
Also, Rainbow Dash was all like, there's adventure, all the road, all the, like, there's gotta be adventure on that road over there. It's like, you guys took the train. What did you expect to have? That robbers would, like, derail the train?
I don't know. Rainbow Dash, I liked it because I'm a big Rainbow Dash fan and I'm a fan of adventure, but it was silly. I don't know why Rainbow Dash was so hyped up for adventure.
She was,
I can just go. My only thing is I'm gonna go with the headcanon that she got really bored on the train ride because that thing took like 5 hours and she was like, ah, I need to kick something in the face.
yeah, she was pretty much the RPG character who goes into town. It's like, can I stab anyone? Is there someone to stab? I'm gonna go into the dark alleyways and see if any bandits will jump me.
Yeah. I need to kill someone. It's imperative. I don't care if I don't get any money out of it. Just lead me to the way to the nearest bandits.
Yep. Um,
Okay,
So
so
she gets stopped. Is there anything? Yeah, we've kind of ran over most of it, I think.
Um, well, yeah, we have ran over most of it, but I guess if we want to go back to doing chronological order, so trap happens, the cutie marks are stolen, and we have the part I mentioned where everyone's basically in this brainwashing camp.
Yeah, the loudspeaker thing was interesting.
Yeah. It was indeed
I was a little bit
interesting.
confused why she
Mhm.
needed loudspeakers, but okay. I
I
mean,
don't
she could
know.
have done it just as well without loudspeakers, but maybe this was like pre-recorded and she's lazy.
That's I feel like that's the intended thing is she's not sitting there yelling at them constantly. She just has a recording of herself like telling really brainwashing messages while she goes about her day.
Well, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. It was indeed pretty relevant. That's the part where I mentioned where okay, so eventually they're trapped and they don't have their special talents. They can't really get out of the room with any of their special talents. So they tell
And
Fluttershy to get
it's
out
terrible.
there. Huh?
It's terrible when you can't get out of the room.
I know,
People put
seriously.
bullets through their head because of that.
That is
Mostly Johnny Wiseau.
exactly. Ah. So yeah, luckily nobody died, and Fluttershy. So they send Fluttershy out, and that's the point where Sunshine, whatever her face is like, "Yo, one of these guys told you about our plan, and I don't like that. Point him out." And that's when the
I mean,
guy's a bro and is like, "Hey, I did everything."
no, again, that it just it had no point. Like I don't mind it. Like it wasn't a bad thing, but
Hmm.
it was a story element that had literally no point. Like there, it went over and it had no reference to the rest of the storyline
Yeah.
because it's
It,
not like he ever does anything relevant.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I think, like everyone else, he doesn't do a lot relevant until he gets his cutie mark back. And even then, I don't know who he is because they're all so bland without their cutie marks.
Exactly, and they're also strange with the cutie marks.
Exactly. Making giant balloon bridges and everything.
Which I swear, if you take that scene
Hmm.
and you like that scene where he makes a bridge, to
Hmm.
me looked really suggestive.
Oh, I'm
Slow
sure
that down, and it
you'll
really
find an image you're going to like that I'm going to show you after this video, but it's
okay.
inappropriate. So enough
Not
said.
in this video then. But point being, that was my general problem with My Little Pony storylines has always been that it felt like they don't have enough time,
Yeah.
and I thought that was still the problem here, where I liked the episode, like the whole episode thing, but
Hmm.
the ending was it just kind of went to the ending very quickly.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
way to defeat a villain has always been very sudden, and here, like the real defeat of the villain was when she loses her cutie mark. I'm like, that is like really sudden. Like for a moment, I thought, oh, they're actually not gonna do it because she dodges the water, and then it's like, never mind.
yeah. Oh wait, I guess that was the point of the pony. That's what he did. He was the one who
But
brushed off the
anyone
camera.
could have done that. Like that's not the reason to. Like that did not need him to have a storyline. Because any other
Well,
pony would have done that too.
yeah. I mean, I see your point. I guess they were just giving a reason for the pony to have some, they wanted a pony that actually had a reason to have some doubt, but I see what you're saying. It any I do agree any pony would have done it because the water splashed her enough to just barely start showing. Um,
The flank.
yeah.
That makes all ponies go crazy.
uh, exactly. It did make all the ponies go crazy. And that made her go crazy. She made a really, like, angry face.
There are a lot of really happy faces and a lot of really angry faces in this episode.
Seriously, it was like veins and shit.
Yeah, so Fluttershy gets sent on an epic quest and she sucks at it.
Yeah, she does suck at it, but I mean, she did end up doing her job in the end, anyways. She discovered that the person does have an actual cutie mark, and she knows where she's hiding the cutie marks.
Which again was very contrived, but I don't even mind contrivedness as in that much in the show.
Yeah, I don't
But
mind it either, but
more what I mind just again, it just I've said it ever since actually the season 2 finale, and I still heard it that they need to figure a way out to make conclusions a little bit more satisfying.
hmm,
The conclusion, we mentioned that I like that they had the other ponies do something rather than just the main six fix it, but the way we got to the way this villain was beaten was so easy.
yeah. I see your point. I guess the way I didn't mind it in this way is really. I guess they could have made it more obvious, but they don't have to. But I really got this vibe that she's gonna be a reoccurring villain. I don't know to what
I think
degree,
so,
but
but
yeah.
that doesn't really help this because I mean, look, with Discord, I was like, okay, I can understand in my head why the things went down the way they did. With Chrysalis, I still say that honestly was like the biggest dent in that character ever. Where like her actions made no sense anymore toward the end, and she just kind of got defeated because.
Yeah.
And then with Sombra, actually, ironically, had literally the best finale out of all of them. Even though I don't like the Krista episode that much, but at least you kind of had an arc going toward an ending.
Yeah.
And when the one with the tree and the vines didn't have a villain, so there was no arc to that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this one, it just you got sweat, you got sweat, you got sweat, and then you don't really like it. Just kind of skips over the climax, and that's my problem often because there's no really great reason why they are resolving why the story got resolved.
Yeah.
It kind of happened because.
Right. Well, I think Tyrek did a good job with resolving the episode.
But yeah, okay, but I forgot it. But that was
Yeah.
because I was just thinking of the.
Oh,
Okay,
the
I
openers.
just
Yeah.
forgot.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I'm just saying that's probably why that's one of my favorite two-parters. I know that wasn't openers, but that was a good season closer, and yeah, I don't know. It actually made good use out of the boxes that no one liked all season.
Oh yeah, to mean the keys.
Yeah, the keys.
Okay, because I was like, what box?
The
What season were
boxes.
you watching? Season 7? Where they
Yes.
get like boxes and then they throw the boxes at people.
Exactly. No, but yeah.
But so wait, they turn into the Dark Messiah. Huh, interesting.
Exactly. But
But the other thing, sorry
mhm.
if I keep ranting, but the other, I just want to get out my critiques, even though I still am overall positive toward the episode. But I want to mention the critiques because I think it's fair to mentioning critiques is more useful than not mentioning them, I guess. Point being, the other one that was a little bit strange about this is within the context of how the show has been going, it makes sense. But if we are gonna have more adventure episodes from now on,
Yeah.
was this really the season? Like, why was this the season opener? The stakes were a little bit low, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah. I mean, I guess I can see your point for the season opener, the stakes being a bit low. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're going to have more higher stake things. But I see your point. It was still a really good episode and worthy of its length, and I guess that's probably just. I'm gonna say that's probably just why it was the season opener. But I see your point. Compared to all of the other season openers or season closers, it's usually a struggle for an entire empire or an entire sun or something really huge, the entire world.
Yeah, but here it's just really, I mean, there was never really a danger to Equestria, even though the main villain, I guess that's what like the main villain was not a very powerful villain, even though they confused a little bit how strong she really is because she has that super OP spell. But like Celestia was never gonna fall for this.
Right.
There was no way she would defeat Celestia or Luna or Bose or Discord.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
was never really a danger. It was Twilight and their friends just kind of got stuck in here for months, and then Celestia comes in and kicks down the fucking door.
That is completely fair. I guess that is the main problem. I do agree. I mean, I still have it. I didn't have a huge problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like. I
But
still enjoyed it, but it was a little bit strange, I guess, to me. Just
yeah.
because
Well,
yeah, the only thing is again the time thing. You need maybe 2 episodes to make it work, but I've never understood why My Little Pony refuses to just have arcs.
yeah. I see your point actually. I don't know either. In fact, I guess that's another thing worrying about the more adventure based this season is I'm hoping that we don't have too many rushed conclusions and such because there are a lot of times where I agree it would be nice if there were like I don't know 3 or 4 episodes for
Or
a
even two
single thing.
episodes in the middle of the season. But that's what I'm saying. They
Yeah.
never do 2 episodes in the middle of the season because
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Where I would hope they would be able and willing to do something like that. But this kind of the fact that this is at the beginning of the season rather than just in the middle of it makes it seem like they wouldn't be able to put this in the middle of the season.
Yeah. I
Even though you
agree.
could have just screened this over 2 weeks and it would have been fine too.
Right. Yeah. I'm not really sure why that is, but I do totally
Again, it's
agree.
only really because like the only part is that introduce a map, but you could have
Yeah.
probably done that in a different story too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that is the thing. Is I was gonna say, yeah, the map is there, but yeah, it's something that seems to be a it'll be common among a lot of episodes. So there's not really a reason that it has to be in. As long as it's in the first episode, it could be in pretty much any of the episodes. The introduction to the map, as long as it's an episode that focuses on the main six and an adventure.
Yeah. So again, the funny thing is we are contemplating this, and probably everyone, most people watching this know way more than us because I know that there's a lot of synopsis for the different episodes already, so
Yeah.
they actually know where the season is going. But I think you and me both have literally no idea what is going
Oh
to happen this
yeah,
season.
I don't.
I have no spoilers at all. I
I've
know the
seen
Cutie
minimal
Markless Crusaders
spoilers.
exist. That's all I got.
Yeah. I've seen some minimal spoilers. I won't give any here. The only ones I've heard is the one from the advertisement, as I've seen the advertisement for season 5 a few times.
I've actually not seen it.
That's actually would
Sometimes
surprise me.
YouTube advertises me pony toys, but they never advertise me the pony show.
Well, that's funny. I'm the opposite. I've never had them advertise me the toys, but I've gotten recently. They've advertised me the show almost every time I watch a video. They're like, "Hey, have you heard about season 5?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I click on the ad because it's something that I like, and then I'm like, "Okay, but I'm not gonna watch this
Okay.
because I've seen it a million times."
Okay, yeah. No, see, that's why I'm having the episode one in the background for me, so that I can notice things. Rarity's hairline crying is a little bit strange. I don't see what the point of that was.
The oh
The
her
hairliner, eyeliner, yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, why does she have black tears? I mean, it just felt like a weird detail.
I thought they were gonna go somewhere with it. I'm going under the assumption
Like, yeah,
it's not
yeah,
really a
but
negative to the episode, but I'm going to go with the assumption that eventually they had more of a plan with that, and they just never went anywhere.
no, it was just supposed to be. I thought it was just supposed to be like, I don't know, maybe I thought it was just supposed to be detail. When I'm not
Oh,
saying that My Little Pony doesn't have details, but I just that was a strange detail to focus on.
yeah. Well,
Yes, I'm
that.
like, so what are we saying, right? He uses like sheep eyelashes, coloring stuff that goes black when you
Well,
cry.
no, I guess that's why I didn't assume it was that because we've seen her cry before, and it's normal tear color. So I assumed that that was from something that they
The
didn't go
magic.
anywhere with. Yeah, I assume it was
Okay,
something to
it
do with
might be that.
the. Yeah.
I like the reuse the reoccurring like whole quality sign thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it didn't have much of a point, but hey, it was like there was this reoccurring sign throughout the episode. It was interesting, even if it
Yeah.
didn't have much of a point, because it's the quality thing wasn't really that much of a like it was the center of the episode, and yet it wasn't that much of a deal. Because you never were gonna be like, oh, the main six are all just gonna become like equality people, because they
Right.
never for even 1 second consider it, even
Right,
Fluttershy.
exactly. Yeah, even Fluttershy, it doesn't take her very long to convince her that these people are evil, because, well, they locked them, the main six, in a tiny room filled with
Oh my god, I saw
propaganda.
this. Someone has to take a screenshot of that. When all of them are like quitting at Fluttershy because they have this plan. It looks really weird.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
The other thing,
Yeah.
like if we, I'm literally devoid into like just nitpicking or minor details, but what's Fluttershy's plan with that bird?
Her.
She has
Um.
that bird shows up and she tells the bird, I think, to get help. I don't know what she actually tells the bird anymore, but
Yeah.
she talks to the bird. I'm like, what is her plan? Because again, assuming that we are really, really far away from like anywhere,
Yeah. It's
where's the bird
just,
gonna go?
I don't know. Maybe it's going to go recruit its bird friends.
Because like at best, you could be like, where the bird goes to Celestia, and it's like, if the bird knows who Celestia is, where she is, and if Celestia doesn't just like fry it and eat it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm just gonna say there's probably several places the bird. I don't know. I'm going to assume the bird could have tried to go for help, and even then, it was just kind of a desperation thing that obviously didn't go anywhere, anyways.
Yeah, I know. It was just like it was really just there to point out that they can't have their powers anymore.
Right, exactly.
But I was just in hindsight, I was thinking on why what her plan was because it didn't
Yeah.
seem like she had a plan.
Well, I mean, it's Fluttershy. She's not exactly known to be the smartest one of the group, so I'm okay with her not always having a plan.
But she had the plan of throwing water at someone, which I think it's just I think she was just missing her Discord days.
Yeah, honestly,
It
that's
probably
what
wasn't even
that.
about the cutie mark. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna hit you with a bucket.
That's what that made me think about. I was like, this feels like it's a reference to Flutterbitch.
It's totally a kind of name.
Yep, totally.
Also, the baker wears something else, so hags. How did she get that?
I don't know. I
Because
guess
everything
that's
has the
just
same
the
clothing.
bakery. I'm gonna just guess it's a bakery uniform, but yeah. I see your point. The bakery uniform that they all take turns wearing.
Jeez, that thing must suck to wear.
Yeah. And indeed must. Well, all their clothing looks like it sucks to wear.
But they don't wear really much clothing.
Yeah. Well, exactly. In fact, I like that part of the episode where Rarity points that out.
Yeah, I like that. I like the book joke. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why. Again, it just I just liked the flash picky for just flipping through the book and all of it just being equality signs.
This
Like,
is
I
yeah.
think I just liked it because sometimes it reminded me a little bit of like video games or something, like old video games where the books would just have lines of text without actually having like you can't read them because there's really
Yeah.
low res of textures.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can just sit there looking at these like lines and be like, fascinating.
Yeah, kind of reminded me of that. So do you want to try and get back in order at all of the things that happened in the episode?
Didn't we finish it?
Let's see. Well, we left off at Fluttershy throwing water at Miss whatever her face is. I
And
guess
then
we
it
pretty much did.
it reveals a cutie mark, and then they get all mad.
Yeah, because she's an equal.
Which, for one, I thought she was gonna convince him. Like she had a good story going on. Now they're just like, hey, I have my reasons. And they're like, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of unsure myself, but I assumed that she was going to fail to argue her way out of that.
Which
Cause
that was a little bit the Princess Twilight Sparkle's line was a little bit like I guess Twilight she Flash just used it as a distraction.
mm,
But it's like, oh yeah, Twilight wants to join you. And it's
yeah,
like, oh really? And then she throws the water at her. It's like you could just have thrown the water at her in the first place.
yeah. Well, that was the idea of being a distraction, but I do see your point.
It's not a complaint, but it was like for a moment I was not sure where the episode was going. I guess that's what I mean with the resolution. But like the resolution came so sudden, it actually like whipped me right in the face.
Yeah. Um, I see your point, though. I don't think I don't know. It was. I'm trying to think on the resolution. I mean, on one hand, I definitely see your point, but I don't really have that much of an issue with it. But I guess it could have used a more dramatic thing, and I kind of see your point with the time thing. Honestly, if they I don't know. I
Bit more
do
time,
agree.
and maybe they could have built it up because there was no big plan. The whole
Yeah,
plan was throw water at her, but it's not actually even needed like a plan to get the water. She just had water.
yeah. Yeah, I see your point. On that one, honestly, it would have been neat if there was a little more in depth something. Um, though this one, I guess I was okay with it because it technically made sense. Though admittedly, her plan did. Though she apparently needed to stay indoors like some kind of witch if it ever rained.
Yeah, right. Did she? I don't know how she managed to do this at all for like any length of time. It's a whole
Yeah,
equality cutie mark. That is not equality cutie mark.
yeah.
And right, doesn't anyone notice that her cutie mark isn't like another cutie mark that should be there? Or like, did anyone ever ask why there's one cutie mark too few or anything like that?
Cute. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, that's a fair question. Especially early on. At this point, there's like a whole big wall of cutie marks.
And
I'm
so how
like,
did she douse herself in water?
douse herself in water. What do you
That's
mean?
when Flasher finds out that the cutie mark is fake. It's because like she trips and like douses herself in like water accidentally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like we never see what happens. You just see her when she's then already like read it like crumbles and whatnot.
I'm
But I'm like, what was she doing? Like, how did she pull that off?
I'm pretty sure that it was stated that one of the other ponies left a bucket of water in her room for some reason.
Because
I don't remember the line very well. I don't remember it. I don't really remember having too much of an issue with it. But I suppose I
right,
see your point.
I don't have a big issue with it. Like that's the funny
Yeah.
thing. Like I don't mind contrivances in My Little Pony. I can accept those. And like even the quick resolution, I can accept it. I thought it's always been the weak point of My Little Pony.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's fair. In fact,
It,
I could claim
so,
even the same thing with the movies. They always feel like they could use an even longer runtime because the conclusion always feels really short.
right, with the movies, with some of them, it's like yeah, they could use more running long time, but that's why I tend to point out when like it feels very strange when they use time on something that wasn't
Right.
exactly needed, where they could have
Right.
probably used the time to actually have a more even arc rather than just a sudden ending.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. Like the
But
first
like I
one.
said, the pony was his storyline was being thrown in there and then not being thrown in there anymore. I don't mind it being there and it's fine, but that's like 3 minutes that really you could have used on like making everything a little bit more even.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. There were probably a few moments like that, kind of like the song. Honestly, I mean, I liked this song, but I mean, if they were running short on like, yeah, if they could have used their time more effectively, they probably could have cut the song. I don't because
Yeah,
I
they
don't
could
think
have
it
done
really
that too.
furthered the plot any. We already knew what was going on in the town. Though I guess I don't mind it completely because it at least kind of explained what was going on to the main characters, so in a fun fashion. But I don't know that was completely necessary.
Yeah. I mean, overall, what I just think it is actually more that, I mean, I might be totally wrong, I'm just guessing, but it might not actually be that they don't have enough time, it's just that they don't want to, either that they can't or they don't want to focus on making it a more even story arc. And
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine, it's their choice, but if I ever have a complaint about My Little Pony, then that it has been
yeah,
that the story arcs are not really arcs.
yeah.
They're like, okay, they go upwards, 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 and then just like really steep cliff.
That's completely fair. But I guess that is one of the interesting things about the show is it's at least unique in that way. But that is true. At the very least, I can claim I've never sat down and felt like the show was wasting my time.
Yeah, it doesn't do that. But that's because it doesn't just take unnecessary long amount of time for random booby and sex scenes.
It does, yeah, it doesn't take a lot of time for anything like that. I'd be really surprised if all of a sudden My Little Pony
My,
was
li-
like boobs.
my little God, it's Game of Thrones, My Little Pony edition.
Ah, Game of Ponies. Who will survive between Celestia, Luna, and all of the in-between characters that no one really
Dude,
cares about?
I feel like that has probably been written like 200 times already.
Oh, I'm sure it has. I've seen the
Magic
fic.
effects in this season look great in
Yeah.
this episode. They look kind of strangely different than from before, but they look great.
Yeah, I like the magic effects.
They looked a little bit. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like the ways that the shields, like that the two cases of like those shields looked and whatnot.
Yeah.
They looked almost kind of like what you would expect them to look, not in a video game, but like in like Tron or whatever, like in a game in a
Yeah.
movie that's trying to make video game kind of stuff.
It's a conspiracy. That would explain everything. The texts in the books, Rainbow Dash's attitude.
Also,
It's
like
a game,
again,
not
I
a
just
movie.
saw with the staff, where like they break open the glass with the staff.
Yeah.
That would have made so much more sense if the staff actually was the like source of power.
Right.
Because like Jim just throwing the staff at the fucking glass and it works. It's like okay, I mean I'm not gonna like it's not a big deal, but it's a little bit like these cutie marks literally the moment you break the glass around them, you just go home.
Yeah. I see your point. I mean, the chances of them being broken weren't that high, but I do see your point where if it just takes breaking the glass, then still anything could have done that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just if the staff had actually been the
yeah,
source of power, it would have been kind of better.
yeah, exactly. Because I mean, literally, the episode would have been resolved in seconds if Twilight Sparkle just went in there and was like, "I don't like the looks of that glass," and shot a blast at it.
Which he probably should have, considering that she understood that the staff was fake. Which
Yeah.
again, the trap doesn't make sense in that case. Then how did she get surprised? I don't know. Yeah, we're just gonna go in circles now.
Well, at that point, she didn't know that the staff was a thing.
Yeah, she did. Just before they get trapped, she like hears that there's like nine artifacts, and then she like
Yeah.
looks she looks like suspicious, and then about like 5 seconds later they said trap springs. And I'm like, you already look really suspicious. Wouldn't you like set up a spell or something?
I didn't. I guess I'd have to go back and look. I didn't know if she looked suspicious,
She
but
did,
I see
because
your
I've
point.
seen it like three
Okay.
times now since we
Yeah.
started.
Makes sense.
Which this is now 3 times as long as this episodes themselves.
Wow. I can't believe it's
Not
three
quite.
times. Okay, I was gonna
No,
say
it's like 2 times.
Yeah. It's still pretty long. Okay. Anyways, so
Any final thoughts?
not really. Hopefully, this hasn't been too nitpicky. I still really liked the episode.
I don't
It's,
think there's such a thing as too nitpicky. Like maybe
Well-
for someone it can be too slow, but then I just can turn off the video. But
Right.
I don't think you can ever have too many complaints.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess I agree there, but I don't want it to come off as we don't like the episode, or we're saying, oh, we hate
But if
the
you said
episode.
we liked the
because-
episode,
yeah,
so
I know.
if anyone,
I just want to restate that so people don't think like, oh man, we didn't like the way that Rarity cried, so we're giving this episode a failing grade. Fuck you. No.
I don't grade episodes.
I don't
Every episode gets a 6 main characters out of 6. Unless you don't have
That's
6
fair.
main characters.
Exactly. Unless Angel Bunny exists, in which case he
Hey,
can go
actually,
die.
Agent Bunny did not exist here.
Yeah, exactly. So it gets my passing grade automatically. Gets no Angel Bunny out of 10. It's
Okay,
good
final
enough
note.
for me. Mm-hmm.
I was surprised that I actually like this is actually a thing I was thinking when I saw the episode at the very
Mhm.
beginning.
Yeah.
Applejack is surprisingly like everyone is surprisingly happy with just like abandoning their business. But most of our Applejack, like Rarity too, but I guess Rarity is self-employed. It's okay, but Applejack, I mean, she has a farm to run, and she's like, whatever, I'm just gonna go now.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh yeah, the Applejack was amazing in this episode.
Yeah.
She had not much time, but I liked her like countryism thing.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I liked her countries. I think everyone was pretty good. I can't really think of any of the main six that I could really count down on.
Yeah,
Um,
I would say that was a strength. Like the characters were all in character. If
yeah.
the weakest character of them was, and this is not like just because this one is not to hate on Rarity, but the weakest character of them was Rarity, but because she didn't have much lines or anything in that
Right,
episode.
yeah. She didn't have a lot of importance in the episode. I can agree to that. There really wasn't a lot for her to do except call the town ugly, which she did.
Yeah,
And she called the clothes ugly, but yeah, it's basically all she did.
she wants to just cut everything ugly,
Yeah.
which I guess Rarity is not one for symmetrism.
Oh, she she isn't. Well, anyways, that was our thoughts on the episode The Cutie Markless. Um yeah, so it was pretty fun. It had lots of things and well, this video is really long. So, thank you all for watching, and, yeah, we plan to continue. I definitely plan to continue enjoying the season 5. I have high hopes for this season.
You really don't want to end this video.
I don't want to end this video. I want
Okay, then
this.
let's keep
The
going.
video will last forever! Except not really.